Welcome back to AG the Champion YouTube. This is my first F2 race and it will be held in Bahrain. This is a feature race and it will be followed by a sprint race right after this.
Welcome to Sakir and the Bahrain International Circuit, where the grid is forming up ready for today's race. Bahrain represents an exceptional 3.36 miles of racing. Lots of opportunities to overtake throughout its 15 corners. Now, this track has a reputation for being brutal on the rear tyres, so keep an eye on how these young drivers manage their rubber. Strategy here could ultimately determine the winner of this race. Davide, you're a three-time winner around here in 1 week, I believe, back in 2012. How on earth do you make the tyres last around this racetrack? They degrade so quickly.
To be honest, the key to the race is having a good start so you can get your car into a good position. Then save the tires as much as you can and push just at the end.
We're almost ready to go. Position then, and Nobuharu Matsushita completes the front row. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Boccolacci, Mazepin, Antoine Hubert, and Correa, Joe, King, Latifi, Jack Aitken, De Vries, Ilott, Sergio Sette Camara, and Alesi, Giotto, Boschon, Calderon, and Louis Delatraz. Schumacher and Mahavir Raghunathan starts from the back of the grid. And now it's time to head down to the track.
Great start to the season. Let's convert this pole into a win.
I am on pole position and I'm not about to let this slip. I'm holding the clutch, trying to get the optimal RPM as the 5 lights go out. I thought and away we go. That was a good start, but I'm pretty sure it would have been better. 3 wide as we head into the first corner. Let's see who will brake first. Boccolacci slows down pretty early, and he's come back and swooped past me. Mazepin gets ahead. I've lost 2 positions. By the end of the first corner, I've been hit by the pink car. I've literally been yeeted across the track. Fortunately, I'm not spun. There's a yellow flag behind. I think he's spun. Boccolacci and Nikita fighting up ahead. Let's see who will get ahead. Boccolacci stays ahead. I've caught up with the 2 because they're fighting. I want to stick as close to them as possible. A bit too close, locked up, but I'm right about to overtake him. He's locked up. I've managed to get ahead. Upper place I go. This is one of the trickiest bits in this game. If you watched F1 practice, you'd have seen so many people locking up on this exact corner. I'm behind by 0.9 of a second. I need to reduce that gap. This is actually easier than I thought. I'm catching up to him pretty quickly, even though I increased the AI level. But you will notice here, I will do extremely well, but then there will come a different track where the AI are just brutal. Just a bit of inconsistency. I'm right behind him, trying to gain a bit of slipstream. Massive lockup from Boccolacci. He's starting to panic. He's so slow around the corner, I nearly slammed into him. Down the straight we go. I'm behind him by 3/10. Matsushita takes the fastest lap. I'm so close to Boccolacci, but there seems to be no space to overtake him. DRS will really help me down here. I really want to get past him. and get the points because I wouldn't be first in every single race and I want to get as many points as possible to keep me at the top of the championship. Very close again, nowhere to overtake. I just have to wait for the main straight where I will have DRS and be able to pass him. Down the inside of him and I've made it. I've gotten into first place. I just need to hold this position until the end of the race.
Okay, good work. Great pass.
I've got a personal best, a fastest sector, and another personal best. I've set the fastest lap of this race. Fastest lap in Formula 2 is 2 points. I'll really be keen to hold on to those points. I've lost quite a bit of pace in the last lap or two. I've gone a bit wide, so Buccolacci will definitely have DRS. He might even overtake me because of the mistake I just made now. I move into the inside, he's gone to the left. I can keep him there, I can brake late.
Lost the position. Try to keep focus.
Back ahead of him. This is the final lap of the race. I'm in the first sector, my tires are half worn out. I need to keep this position, one spin and I'm at the back of the grid. I need to keep it nice and easy. I shouldn't go way too fast because I don't want to outdo myself. And these F2 cars are very tricky to drive. I actually think they're harder to drive than the Formula 1 cars because they're so difficult to drive. I just went into the curb and I had to correct the oversteer. The back end tends to slide quite a bit, so you have to counter it by steering the opposite way. Purple sector in sector 1. Massive lockup as the tires are starting to slip. I built a 2-second gap over Nikita Mazepin. And remember, the AI is on 80%, so it's not that easy. I'm not worried about the cars behind. All I need to be careful about is how I drive. Fastest time in sector 2. This is the last corner of the race. I need to be careful and not do an Alex Albon through here. Checkered flag is out, the finish line is right ahead. I have won the first Bahrain Grand Prix in F2. What a wonderful achievement.
Just amazing. Well done.
That was such a wonderful drive. The start wasn't the best, but I finished strong.
Well, what a drive that was to take the win for Prema today. Tell me, Davide, what was the key to this success?
I think they kept a cool head. That's why they won today. Smooth, steady, everything bad that happened to them, they handled it calmly and professionally. That's what let them focus on getting the best out of everything else. The car, the strategy, they managed to keep out of trouble the whole way around.
It looks like it's time for the victory ceremony once again, as I can see the drivers beginning to make their way out for the celebrations. You can see it on their faces. It's another marvellous team win for Prema today.
I have my first F2 trophy and I'm spraying my champagne on my competitors.
And now, let's take a look at the driver's standings. A strong race then for our championship leader. That's extended their advantage at the top of the standings. And now, Davide Valsecchi, let me ask you, who is your driver of the day?
It's got to be Nick De Vries this time. Just great raw speed and a good job in traffic as well.
On to the teams then. Prema move to the top of the table. Goodbye for now then, but we really are just getting started. Make sure you join us again for Lights Out tomorrow.